Let's dig into that then. How do you get people interested when they start watching your video and keep them interested? What goes through your head?
It's the hook. So there's two sections to that. There's the hook and then there's the intro. I haven't invented this. This is just, again, it's Hollywood stuff. It's stuff. I think the original person who I really kind of was inspired by with this was Ali Abdaal, who had this kind of structure for his videos, which he had taken from someone else. You know, Greg, there's only 7 songs, there's only 7 YouTube videos. We're all copying each other basically, but it works. And the hook is the thing right at the start of the video, which lasts, in my videos these days, I've got it down to hopefully quite a fine art where it's a few seconds. So it will be me sitting down in the chair over there or walking up to the camera and just saying something like, I've been trying this for the last 3 weeks and I've got lots of thoughts, that sort of stuff. So immediately they're like, okay, right, what are those thoughts? The second part of that is the intro, which is when I give them a little bit more information about what that thing is and, you know, what they can expect for the rest of the video. So again, you're constantly drip feeding them information with cliffhangers, etc.
So keeping the curiosity and the suspense. I've got an idea. Is there a video that comes to mind where you've done this recently that we could maybe watch as an example?
Most of them, to be honest. I mean, like I say, I'm quite proud of those hooks now because I'm really brutal with them, Greg. I think, like any YouTuber, when I first started, I was a little bit overindulgent with the intro, so I'd spend a long time saying, "Hi, welcome back to the channel. Hope if you're new here, make sure you subscribe." No one cares. No one's going to subscribe. You don't know who you are. So
I found that
I get right in. Yeah, I'm trying to think one. If you just scroll up again, I think probably a good one to demonstrate is the one that says "Boom," the craziest headphones.
Great. So let's start watching this, and I'll pause it after maybe 10-15 seconds, Mark, and you can talk us through what happens.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool.
I wasn't going to review this pair of headphones because it's just another pair of headphones, isn't it? Only it really, really isn't.
Okay, is that a good place to start?
Yeah, so that's the hook.
Yeah,
that's 100% the hook. And in my sort of rough script, I have a section called hook. So that bit would have been in there. It was probably, that looked like, I think from memory, it was actually scripted. So what I was saying, I was pretty much reading from something. But the reason I think that works, the reason I did it like that is because, first of all, you see the product. So you don't see me at all. You see the product sitting there. It's clearly a pair of headphones. So I'm kind of following up on the thumbnail, which features the same product on there. And then I come into frame, and within, I'm not sure how many seconds that was, but 8 or 10 seconds or something, I've basically said, you want to hear this. There's something about these headphones which is unusual. And the reason I did that is because I've reviewed loads of pairs of headphones, and again, a bit like phones, they can be quite boring because they all do the same thing. They play music, they have noise cancelling, they have Alexa built in. They all do the same stuff. Whereas these headphones do genuinely have a unique feature, which is this kind of rumbling bass thing that goes on the cans. But I don't tell them that. I don't tell the audience that. I just say there's something about these headphones that is very different. The other thing I'm doing here as well, just for which I think the viewers might find interesting, is that the headphone stand is very deliberately placed on there. The reason for that is that I use that headphone stand in all of my headphone videos, and it's one of the most successful affiliate partnerships that I have. It's with a company called Banks, and it sells like hotcakes, basically. So from a business person's perspective, I'm thinking, let's get that front and center. As always, people like that headphone case. And I think what I do then in the intro, I even reference it and say, look, they're not sponsoring this video, but if you like the look of that headphone case, click the link in the description. So immediately I've done the hook. I've included a high ticket affiliate partnership in there, and I've featured a new brand, which in this case is Skull Candy, that with the headphones. So there's a lot going on in 10 seconds.
There really, that's what I was thinking exactly. There's a lot going on there. But that just goes to show the level of detail and craftsmanship that you're putting into your videos.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I think, again, it reveals how much goes into this, like you're saying, and that's what people perhaps don't realize, how much work. And a lot of this comes from experience, obviously, but there's a lot of planning that goes into this. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So just for people who are just learning about hooks for the first time and they've just seen that example, would you say the most important thing for a hook is to there's two ways of saying the same thing here: drive curiosity, leave people wanting more, wanting to see what comes next. Is that right?
Yeah, it's a classic kind of curiosity gap. You give them enough information, so you're not really taking them, extracting the Michael, and but you're giving them not enough for them to, say, okay, I've got everything I need. I'm going to disappear now. They want to hang around and find out what it is about those headphones that is so amazing, basically.
So you're obviously intentionally not revealing that feature in the title or in thumbnail too, because if you do, people will already know what the special feature is, and there's no reason to keep watching the video, right?
Yeah, you've lost them at that point, haven't you? It's something. I think also in the intro, I don't really I mentioned what it is at some stage, but again, I build up to it. I don't kind of say straight away, these headphones have this haptic bass thing, which is amazing. I actually kind of waffle on it a little bit until I get to that stage. And then the actual demonstration of it, as much as you can demonstrate that on the video, comes within the rest of the video, within what I call the value section, which resides between whatever it might be, 2 minutes and 8 minutes. It's within that big chunk, the main chunk of the video, where I actually talk about that thing and reveal what it is.
Okay, that's really interesting. Let's stick on that point for a second. So you've got your hook, which you start off with. Obviously, the thumbnail and title kind of act as a visual hook before they start watching. And when they start watching, they have the actual hook in the video, which was the first 11 seconds we just saw. You've just said the value section comes 2 minutes in. Can you give us a bit more insight into that outline for each video that you're following?
Yeah. So you have that hook, which we just watched. Then you have the intro, and the intro is probably another minute or so, minute and a half or something. Depends if it includes a sponsor read, which sometimes it does. I think that one did. Maybe actually no, it didn't. To be fair. So yeah, you get about a minute and a half of intro, and then we go into what I call the value, and that is the main chunk of the video, really. So I suppose if you think about like a newspaper headline, I always think about the traditional side of this, which is the above the fold thing. When you pick up a newspaper, is the title, it's the headline. Then you get an image, which is the thumbnail in this case. And then you get the first paragraph, which is in bold, and that's the thing that hooks you in. So you buy the newspaper, you go home, stick it on your coffee table, open it up, and you read the rest of it. And that's where you get all of the stuff that the journalist has promised. That's basically the value section in a YouTube video. You have to deliver there. If you don't, you've lost. You've gained so much trust from that person, even though it's only seconds, or 2 or 3 minutes. That's a long time in YouTube land, and you've gained their trust right at the start. If you then spend the rest of the video not delivering, if those headphones, for instance, didn't, if I was kind of making out that the special feature was fast charging or something, that's not interesting at all. So that I'd have let the audience down at that stage. So I have to deliver on whatever it is that I've promised, basically.
Makes complete sense. I think people watching this who are just learning about these concepts, and you said that the intro is the first 10 to 15 seconds maybe, and that's to just drive further curiosity. The value that you include start around 2 minutes in, 2 minutes to 8 minutes in, which provides kind of the answer or resolves the curiosity that was made in the hook. But you said there's an intro between the hook and the value section, and I bet people watching this are thinking, well, if the intro is just delaying the value that the viewer gets, what's to stop them leaving in that section? So my question would be, what is the purpose of that intro? How are you creating an intro that doesn't lose people?
Well, you're setting the scene again. So I think if you deliver the value too quickly, so if I went from that hook to revealing what the special thing is about those headphones, I'm going to lose the audience probably, because they're going to get to the stage where they think, okay, that sounds amazing, I'll check them out, go to Amazon, buy them or whatever, and then just get distracted and go elsewhere. So I've lost them from the channel. And as far as YouTube's concerned, I've lost them from YouTube, and that's the worst thing you can do, because our job as creators is to keep people on YouTube for as long as possible on our own channels. That's how you become successful, basically, because it's what YouTube wants. So you have to again just keep nudging off the payoff. You have to keep. It's like a film, really, Greg. So if you watched a movie tomorrow, and within the first 10 minutes, the kind of the peak of the character arc and the successful thing that happens at the end of it, then you're going to walk out of the theatre at that point, aren't you? Whereas if it builds up gently, but if it does it, kind of very smartly and without, like I say, without kind of disrespecting the audience, then you've got a much better chance of keeping people for as long as possible on that video, basically.
Mm. That's really insightful, really valuable. Yeah, I think that's a skill to develop. I think the skill really is building hype or curiosity and keeping like slowly building up to the reveal of that curiosity, but in a way that keeps the viewers engaged and then they don't disengage and move on. And I think that sounds like a definite skill that people need to develop.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's hard not to kind of blurt it out and kind of reveal the amazing thing to begin with. And I think really it just comes with practice, really, Greg. It's one of those things that you have to keep refining. And I'm not a master at it at all, and quite often I get it wrong. But it's recognizing where you've got it wrong, and looking at the retention graphs on your YouTube videos, and actually doing that thing which sounds a bit, kind of, it sounds a bit of an odd thing to do, but watching your own videos, I do regularly watch videos that I've published. I go back, perhaps a couple of weeks and check them out, and it's so valuable because although sometimes it's a bit cringe making, you do watch things and think, oh, I got that right. That was actually a pretty good video. Or you think, I could have done that better. I waffled on for way too long. Exactly, and it's just it's a constant learning process, definitely.